So today we're gonna set up a Raven Sideshift steering on the CR12 field computer. As you can see, we have one installed, and it's with the ISO bus connector. So as soon as you connect that, you will see on the CR12 a new UT will be loading, which is for implement steering. And as soon as it is loaded, it will be available in the UT. So if you go to the UT, you see on this tractor we have also the RS1 steering installed. So that's this UT, and there we have the third one, which is implement steering. And for calibration, we select the machine type, which will be implement. So the bottom one, and machine make in this case will be side shift. So we select the side shift. And the model. So for the side shift, frame will be generic. And there we go on the next step. So the guidance partner is now on auto, which is standard. If you do ISO implement steering only, you can use internal guidance. But for now, with the CR12, we'll just move on with auto and press the next button. Automation level, also steering only, we're just steering the system. Detects its IDU here, so it's partner, so the implement driver unit. So press next step. What we have to do is set up a profile name, which will be the implement, so the weeder, for example, check mark. There we go, can move on with next step. The receiver selection, we have the Raven 700S, which is the standard connected, so we can just select the 700S. If you got something else, just select whatever antenna you have installed and press next. So this will be the distance to the reference point of the machine, so where the weeders actually are or where the seeding point or whatever is. Make sure to enter this correct, because this will in the end define where your implement will be drawn on the screen. So here we go, left, right. If it's in the center, just leave it on 0. The height of the antenna, make sure that your implement is in working position when you measure this. So not in the 3-point, but something lowered, so you're working. So we have the RS1 connected to the system as well. So the 700S will work on RTK, and the RTK from the RS1 will be sent over ISO to the 700S as well. So we don't need a second RTK provider or whatever. So the same correction units will be used for the implement steering as well. So press next. Select the node orientation. That will be how this SC1 or is mounted on the machine. So that means where are the connectors. So we select the right one, and then next step is to drive 10 meters and then move on with the calibration of the SC1 implement. So press next step, and that will be step 1. Make sure to stand still, lower your machine to the ground and press calibrate. There we go, just as with tractor steering. Make sure you can turn around, back up, and come back in the original place, but 180 degrees the other way around. And also with the second step, if you're there, make sure that your implement is lower to the ground, so it has the same position as it had with step 1. Go, it's green again, and we can press calibrate. select the valve type, which is in this case our own, so the Raven Europe valve. You can select something else, for example, if it's steer ready, planter, or whatever. A wheel angle sensor, so we use the Raven sensor, which is 0 to 5, but also down here you can choose what we have connected. So the engagement and the disengagement type, if you leave that on field computer, it's just the button on the field computer, but you can also make it tractor linked or the height switch if that's connected. But we'll leave the engage type on the field computer only, and disengage make it tractor linked. So if the steering from the tractor is disengaged, implement will also disengage. And then we can enter a delay for either one of them. And auto center means once it's green, so it's green now, if you turn off the steering, it will automatically go back to the center. So next step is to set the wheel angle sensor, so we can stand still for this one. We don't need to drive, steer left or right, and make sure you have your left, center, and the right. And if you're pressing left and it seems to be right on the machine, you can check mark the reverse hydraulics, so you don't have to switch the hoses around. It's just in the software. So once set, we can go to the next page. And then we have to measure, because it's Sideshift, we need to measure the maximum distance to the right and maximum to the left. So what you do is you steer the machine completely to the left or to the right and enter the amount to the right. So from the center to the right. And then next step will be for the left side as well. Yeah, so we control the machine completely to the left and we enter the value which we measure. And once we press play down here, the machine will start to move. So be careful down here. So it will set its own value. So minimum left, minimum right, and so on and so on. So this can take a while. And if you look at a machine, so we'll have a look, it will actually steer. So here's our implement, and you see it's looking for the minimum left, going back a little bit. So it's searching for its own values for the best way to do the steering. Once that's done, you can press the next step and the calibration is ready. So the calibration in the UT is ready and we are able to steer. So what you see now is the home screen with the same possibilities as tractor steering. So we got our antenna shift and we got our sensitivity, which we can set the way we want. Yeah, we can manually control left and right. And then we are done in the UT. Then we need to set up the steering to some kind of implement in the machine garage. So we'll go to the machine garage and we'll add our GPS steered weeder over there. So once we're in, press reset. We select our tractor on the top left. which in this case will be the class, and then we press mount equipment, and we can make so create new equipment. So for now, this will be the weeder, and just so it's easy for the customer to know which machine he needs to choose, just add GPS behind it so everyone knows what it is. Total width, eventually number of sections, next step, and this will be an extra step when there is implement steering online. So we do have the GPS source attached to this equipment. So we can leave this on 0 because with the 700S we will just have the distance from the GPS antenna. So that's about it in the machine garage. And then we can go to a job, and inside a job, so once we're inside a job, there are some things which you can do, which is the widget layout. So if you press here, you can use the implement steering widget layout or add some widgets to your existing profile, which we're doing now. There's one widget which will tell you the position of the implement. So whether it's disk steering or side shift, doesn't matter, but the widget will show you if it is to the left or to the right or which degrees it's steering. So that will be interesting to have on your screen. So one of those two you can add. And another thing, so you might want to have it somewhere here. And another thing is the engage button for the steering. Yeah, that's not one, but lift it a little bit, and there's a second one as well. So one is for tractor steering, and the second one right now is for implement steering. So you might want to have those in your screen. And then the third one is the distance to the line. You only see one right now with a tractor underneath it. You can press and hold it, and then you can select your source to both. If that's on both, you'll see two distances to the line, so one for the tractor and one for the implement. So you always know if you're good to go or not. So we go back to the UT. Um, you can still set everything, of course, as we did in the calibration as well. Just the same as tractor steering. And here you have the disengage and the engage setting. If you want to change this, so the engagement, if you want to couple that with the tractor, you can link it to the tractor and disengage as well. So that's always something a customer can change in the UT, so in the settings for the implement steering. Yeah, and also if we go to the next step here, you can set up a delay and of course auto center.